Hi, I'm Paul Seal from codeshare.co.uk. Welcome to the 7th episode in this series where I show you how to build a website with Umbraco V8. In this episode, what we're going to do is focus on the header. We're going to get this header wired up so that it pulls through the information from the back office that we've stored in the document types. So let's get started then. So what we need to do is go into Visual Studio and we need to go to the page header partial view that we've already created. Now this partial view is just hardwired really, apart from the name. And if we go into the back office, if we log into that, and I use the credentials that I do for my tutorials and my starter kits and things like that. So admin at admin 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So let's go into here and we'll just have a look at home and we'll see what we have. So we have a title, we've got a main image, we have a subtitle. So this is the subtitle, that's the title, and we've got a main image which will be here. And also on the actual, if we go to clean.co.uk codeshare, this is the demo site for my starter kit. You'll see that on the articles they have a slightly different header in that they have a posted by information. So if we go to one of these articles on here, so we just got that in there as well. So let's get all this working then. So the first thing to do, go into here. So when I did it for the starter kit, I passed in a view model, but and as we're using models builder, and I just thought I could easily just pass those properties because it's slightly different. Some, not all of them have those, but on this one, what I want to do is just what's going to get passed in. I want to use the iPublish content of that model. So if we just do, well, actually, we're going to get the title. Let's just define the variables up here to start with. So var title equals model dot has value title, then we'll return model dot value. So we could be using models builder, but because I don't want to pass in an exact model, I don't want to say home or blog post or what have you. I just want to use the iPublish content for this one. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So if it's got a value for title, then use it. Otherwise, let's use model.name. So that's our title. And then let's do var subtitle. And we'll just do exactly the same for the subtitle. Subtitle. And then we'll just change this. And we just got to make sure that when we're getting these, that we have the correct alias. And you can find out the correct alias just by hovering over the property name, over the property title, label, whatever you call it. So subtitle. So if it's got a value of subtitle, use it. Otherwise, let's just make it null, empty. So that's our subtitle sorted, and then we'll just do one for the image. Var image equals model dot value main iPublish content. So we have to return it as the type of an iPublish content, and we want to know the alias, so we just hover over main image like that. So main image. Okay, and then we might have an author name and an article date. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do down here author name. So if it's got an author name, then use it. Otherwise, return it back as blank. And actually, if it has the property as well, because it might not necessarily even have the property. So with this one, we'll just do and like that. If model dot has property as well. So if it's even got the property on the document type, and if it has the value, then bring back the value. Otherwise, bring back blank. And then we need one for the date as well. So let's just check the author name. So if we go into a blog post, we have author name is like that, and article date is like that. Oops. Just get that there. Get that there. So if it doesn't have an article date, then we want to return null. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a nullable of date time. Is that going to let me do that? Can't convert object to nullable of date time. So I need to, when I get the value, I just need it to be defined as date time, like that. So that should resolve that. There might be another issue now. There's no implicit conversion between date time and null. I'll tell you what, we'll just do it easily enough. We'll just do new, do date time dot min value, and then I won't make it a nullable. So like that. So if it has the property of an article date and it has a value, then return back that value as a date time. Otherwise, return back a min value. So we can check for min value. So then to use it on here, we can just do @title, and then for the here, what we want to do is we want to say if subtitle, if not string dot is null or white space subtitle, then render a subtitle, and in there we want to just do @subtitle. There we go. So if the subtitle isn't null or white space, and it's complaining about this now, it's saying it's an object, so I need to just define this to come back as string in there, and that's satisfied that there, so I need to just tell it the type to return it as, and that's going to render it out in there. And then if we go to the post HTML, which is in the root of the site that we copied over, and we have a look at the heading, we have this extra span underneath the subheading. So actually, when it's on here, right, so on a post, it's an H2 class subheading. When it's an about article, it's a span class subheading. I don't know if it makes too much difference, but we can cater for that because that's the HTML that the template defined, so we'll do that. So what we do need to know is we need to know how to render it. So let's just put this post in anyway. So we'll just do an if not, right, I'll tell you what, we'll define whether it's going to have anything like that. So we'll just say, after this, we'll just put in a bool to say bool has author details equals author name. So first of all, not string dot is null or white space author name, and again that's another one that we need to return back as a string. And then we need to say, and so if it's not an empty author name and the article date is not equal to date time min value, so that will be our bool to check. So then that way we can do @if has author details. We can put this in here. So posted by, and then we'll do the I don't want to do it. What I don't want to do is the author name as a link, because I don't think it needs to be a link. So we'll just do at author name here, and then on, and then we'll just do at article date dot to string, and then we'll tell it the format. So let's just remind ourselves what the format was. August 24, and then the year. So we'll do month, and then day, comma, and then year. That should be it. And then here, where we need to say whether to do it as an H2 or an or a span, we can just do if has author details, then do it as an H2, else do it as a span. Don't know why I've added extra gaiters in there. So that's our else. Copy that and put that as an H2. So when it's the page header where it's an author type, where it's an article, it wants that subheading to be an H2 with a class of subheading. But when it's a normal post like the about or a content page, it wants that subheading not to be an H2, it wants it to be a span. Let's just check on the index as well, just to check. Yeah, so everywhere else that isn't a blog post or anything like that, it needs to come in as a span. So in theory, what I've done there should work first time, but when does it ever work first time? We'll just have a quick check to see if there's any other classes that makes this different. So we have masthead overlay container. Yeah, it looks right to me. The other thing is I've not wired up the image. So before we do check this, let's just check the image. So what we want to do in here is we want to get the image URL. So if we do string image URL equals, and then make it blank. And what we can do is if image is not null, then we want to pull through the image. Now we need to know what size to pull through the image at. So what we can do is we can go to the front end of the site, inspect this, and just find out what size this is being rendered at. If I pop this out, so yeah, I mean a 1080 screen like this, let's just inspect that again. Click on the background image, hover over it. So it's coming in at 1903 by 532. So let's just see by resizing, does it ever get taller than that? Right, does it ever need to be a different size, different height? 909 by 532. So it looks like what we need to do is 1903 by 502. So we can use the get crop URL method. So if image isn't null, then we can do image URL equals image.getCrop URL, and we can do 1903 width by 532 height. I think that was the right details. And then in this URL here, we can just do a conditional if in here. So we'll just start off by doing the at and then the brackets. This is going to be inside of it. So actually, we'll make this the style rule. So we'll just do that there. And we'll just, right, so now we will do if, so we want to know if the image URL is not empty. So image, if not, string dot is null or white space, and then we'll say image URL. So if that isn't null or white space, then let's use this. Otherwise, use null. So when you do it like this, it won't even give it a style rule. And then for this image, inside the two single quotes, we need to end it like that. We need to do a plus and a plus, and then we just need to do image URL like that. So we're going to say if there is an image URL, then render it as the background image here. Otherwise, don't even set the style rule. So let's see how that's worked. I've saved all that. Let's go to the front page and refresh. Let's just hope it doesn't blow up for a start. Right, didn't blow up. So what it says to me here is that it's used the page name. It's not got an image set on the home page, and there's no subtitle. So let's try and set these then. So let's go to home. Let's say clean blog, and then a nice clean blogging template, and pick an image. We'll pick the cat, and then save and publish that. And then go to the front page again and refresh. Let's see if yes, it's worked. So it's pulled through the title, the subtitle, and the main image. So we've got everything that we needed there. Let's go to a blog post. And so I don't think we've actually got them wired up in the latest articles yet. So we just need to go into the back office, go to test article. So we have a date set there, and let's put in Paul Seal in the author name. I can already spot a problem that we need to just tackle. And then save and publish that. So I've picked an image, something interesting to read, and then we can leave the title, and that would be test article. Yeah, let's leave that. So let's go to the info tab and then look at this. So test article, something interesting to read, posted by Paul Seal on October 01, and then YYYY. So I can immediately see that I did that wrong in the string format. There's probably some of you watching thinking, no, it's lowercase y's. So we can easily fix that. It's not a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Save that. Refresh. There we go. Posted by Paul Seal on October the 1st, 2019. So maybe we don't want to put an author name, but we still want to have a date. So the by Paul Seal part or the by the author part can be optional. So the first thing to say is what we want to do here is it doesn't necessarily have to be an and in the rule of has author details. It could just be an or. So has it got an author name or an article date? So we can change that to be an or rule, and so that it still will render the H2 or a span. And then here, when we actually render this, we will need to just break this down. So the posted by author name and the on, really the conditional part here is the by author name. So we would only be rendering out. So let's just do this. If not string dot is null or white space author name, and we can do at html.raw by, and then author name like that. So let's see if that works. We might find that there's a spacing issue, so we might have to do a non-breaking space, but that seems to have worked. So let's take the author name off from this article and see if the spacing works again. Save and publish, and then go to the front end. Oh, wrong tab. Go back to the article, refresh, posted on 1st of October. So we don't need the by part on there, so that seems to work. And if we can't remove the date because that's required by the template, so that's good. So if we go around the whole site and we just check that it's looking okay, so clean blog, home, about, So most of these won't have an image, but we can set one of those. Now, sample post, blog, search, and contact. And one thing we can do as well with the image is, if we haven't set it, and say you just want to set it on the home page on all of the pages to use it, what you can do here, where you are getting the image, you can just tell it to be recursive. So if you just put in comma true, it doesn't like that anymore. Right, so you might need to say recurse. Fallback. Oh, this is where we use the fallback. So fallback. Right, so the variable name is fallback. That's it. So you define a variable name and you do fallback to ancestors like that. Let's just try that. So now if we go to one of these pages, that may be like the about page where we haven't defined it, hopefully it will pull through the image from the parent one. So when I say the parent, it will pull it through from home. So now it's pulled the image from home. Search should have an image, contact's got an image. So they've all got an image now from home. So there you have it. And because it is, well, we can do that later. I was going to talk about caching and things like that. But that's it. That's our header. That's working now. And we can use that header on all of our pages now, and they even pull through the image from just the home page if you didn't want to set it everywhere else. So I hope you enjoyed the episode and you found that useful. And if you do want to say thank you, you're not obliged to, but if you want to, you could go to codeshare.co.uk/coffee and you could buy me a coffee, and that would be much appreciated. Hopefully that, yeah, the redirect's going to work. Yeah, and otherwise, if you just want to click on like on the video if you did, and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and please share with others if you did find this useful. So yeah, I really appreciate that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.